Okay. Let's go driving. First and foremost, I just want to come on here and express how proud I am of this New Orleans Pelican team. After starting the season 3-16, overcoming all of the odds, even when I shit talked them, even when I said that they sucked and they were the worst franchise in the NBA, called them the Falcons of the NBA, all of that. I stand loud and I stand proud with this organization. I'm proud of them for fighting the way that they did. And without Zion Williamson and officially clinching their ticket to the NBA postseason, I'm proud. Whether or not they win the play-in tournament or get in from the play-in tournament has yet to be determined, but I am very proud of them for fighting hard and getting to that step so we can say that we're going to watch some meaningful Pelicans basketball. So thank you, Pelicans, for finally making the postseason again. Record-wise, it may not have been the greatest season by any means, with a 35-44 record. However, I'm just happy that you guys are finally getting back to the playoffs. Well, not the playoffs, the play-in, but to me, it's basically the playoffs. I mean, the play-in is basically the playoffs. Play-in, playoffs. So I'm very proud of the Pelicans for accomplishing this, and hopefully they host a game, because I'll try to go to it. If they host the San Antonio Spurs, I will try to indeed go to that game. They have another game tomorrow night against the Portland Trail Blazers. Regardless of whatever they do, they can lose the rest of their games. It doesn't matter. They will be in the NBA play-in tournament regardless. You want to have that 9th seed. It's either going to be us or San Antonio hosting the game, but it's set in stone. We're playing the San Antonio Spurs in the play-in tournament first round. It's a team that we have struggled against a lot. So to say that I'd rather play them than the Lakers, I'm not quite sure about that. But we are where we are, and we got to get ready for San Antonio. That's what matters. We got to get ready for those San Antonio Spurs. There's been talk about Zion being able to come back and play. Something about his stepdad says he expects him to come back and play this year, but the Pelicans team is not letting him play. They're not trying to jeopardize his future. I don't really have a clear opinion on that, because I do want him to play. I want to have the best possible team out there while you're in the postseason. However, I mean, how much of an impact will it really make this late? The chemistry may not be there. The chemistry may not be there with him on the team. You know, we may not have the gel that you would want us to have at our full strength, because Zion hasn't played in almost a whole year. So yeah, it's up in the air with that, though. We'll see how that shakes out. Crisco, I can relate, dude. I mean, we swept them. We've had more success against them than San Antonio. Although we beat the brakes off of San Antonio a couple weeks ago, we beat them by 33 on the road. San Antonio, for the most part, has had our number. And, you know, that's one thing about the Pellets that pisses me off. You beat a team by 33 on the road, and then they come into your house a few days later and beat you. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how you can go about that. So hopefully we get it together and find a way to beat San Antonio this time around. We'll see how it shakes out, though. I am going to try to see, because my brother's girlfriend has been successful getting tickets to Pelicans games throughout the year, because she works for a company. I'm not going to put out what, but she works for a company, and they sponsor the Pelicans or whatnot, so she's able to spot some tickets or get tickets, and they're really good seats if you haven't seen in the past. I've posted a few videos of myself at the Pelicans game, but they've been really good seats. Now, I'm not sure if it were playoffs, how that would affect that, but, or if, you know, the seats won't be as good. However, just being in there for a play-in game would be awesome. So proud of this team for battling through and all the adversity that they faced all year long, being one of the more peon teams in the NBA, not really well reputed, not a lot of fans, but the real ones have been here, as myself, Jerry Poor, Crisco here. Wow, well, hey, Crisco, I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what, dude. If I'm able to get to that game, if I'm able to go to that play-in game, I would, maybe we can dap off and say, what's good, man? How you doing, brother? You know, let's meet up before the game or whatnot. The Smoothie King Center is relatively small. It's not that big of a stadium to walk around. It's really not. So yeah, if I do come across that, I'll let you know. Hopefully. I've been to Pelicans playoff game before. I've been to the Portland Trail Blazers whenever we swept them. Went to that one. Game 3, I believe it was. Great experience. This was when Anthony Davis was still playing for us and not a bitch-made pussy who wants to flake out and go join the winning team. So, yeah. And I've been to a bunch of them this year. Mostly taking L's, though. A lot of the ones I went to, we lost. We won some of them. We won a few, but most of them have been losses for the most part. I really only remember one game that we won, and that was against the Sacramento Kings. That was against the Kings. We beat them last night, but we beat them 125-95, and I was at that game, so that was probably the most recent one that I remember us winning. So yeah. That's all, folks. That's all, folks. What's up, Cartman? How you doing, man? I'm good, dude. Just throwing out my opinions, my reaction to the Pelicans making the play-in tournament. Oh, dude, for sure, Crisco. They got that little asterisk ring in the bubble. Anthony Davis can say he has a ring now. Cool. You got that little asterisk ring. I don't know, dude. I think that stuff was. I get on Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers, for winning the Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, they beat us. We could have stopped them to get to that Super Bowl. But there was a full season. It never stopped the NFL. The NFL season never stopped. It never paused. It never, they just played with the cards they were dealt with, and Tampa Bay won it all, So I can't, necessarily call that one an asterisk, even though the season was tainted in a way. No fans, no impact. The Lakers, it just seemed like that little situation, that bubble situation, was just a whole mess. That was not even, to me, not even legit. That was not legit. They paused everything, put everything on pause for, what was it, about 4 or 5 months? 4 or 5 months, stop everything. Oh, all of a sudden, hey, we're presenting you guys an opportunity to get into the NBA playoff with an NBA playoff bubble opportunity. I think it was a very washed down, watered down, whatever way to just, okay, let's just come with a resolution for this season. Somebody's got to win type of deal, just forcing everything. And the Lakers won, so cool. Frank Vogel, terrible coach, can say he has a championship. Anthony Davis, a bitchy, injury-prone player, can say he has a championship. All these peons can say that they have a championship. Cool. But, I just want to get my quick thoughts out here. Not much to really emphasize on. Oh, dude. Crisco, you're not lying about that. You're not lying at all, dude. I was at the NFC Championship game. Not to make it about myself, but I was at the NFC Championship game when that happened, and from first view, I thought it was freaking Kamara, dude. I thought that was Kamara that got hit out of bounds like that. I don't know why. Well, I was in the nosebleed section. Yeah. Nonetheless, I thought it was Kamara that got hit, but it was Tommy Lee Lewis. So that was very miserable walking out the Superdome, knowing that you're not going to the Super Bowl. You just lost the NFC Championship game at home. And then on top of that, that was the first home playoff loss as a Saints fan that I had ever witnessed. That was very hostile. That kind of made me jump a little bit. Somebody blowing their horn. That was the first ever playoff home loss that I've ever seen the Saints lose. So it was new to me. It was like, wow, like we're actually vulnerable. We can be beat at home. This Superdome's not this magical place like everybody talked about it to be, which it was at one point back in 2011 and even 2013. Well, good thing we never lost the Super Bowl. Good thing we never lost the Super Bowl. I never had the experience to lose a Super Bowl, but I've losing NFC Championship games. I'd say that NFC Championship game just kind of gave me like a loss of hope, like a loss of faith in the NFL legitimacy. it really got me skeptical about everything. It's still to this day I'm somewhat skeptical because it just seems sometimes so blatant and obvious. So that's where I really began to be skeptical. The Minneapolis Miracle, you can say, oh, why would he do that? I bet there was money on the line. Marcus Williams dove into his own player on purpose and this and that. But there wasn't really enough. There wasn't enough to really confirm that was true or anything. It just seemed like an anomaly. You know, we weren't really thinking. I wasn't really thinking about how it was fixed. I was more thinking of like, wow, like that just happened. My whole life watching the Saints, we've been missing the playoffs for the last 3 seasons. I wasn't even expecting a playoff season that year in 2017, and there we are, just one tackle away, one stop away from the NFC Championship game in 2017, the NFC Championship game, after we've had terrible defenses for 3 straight years. Rob Ryan coming in and messing up everything. And 2017, right there, a chance to get to the champ game, and that happens. And I'm sorry, I know Marcus Williams wasn't the worst safety in the world, but whenever he did go to Baltimore, part of me was like, okay, he had chemistry with our defense. I'm going to miss him on that aspect. But part of me will always remember that play, and then it just kind of makes me think, you know what? I'm not too mad that he's gone. I mean, a safety can't come in and do that poor of a... There is not one player, defensive player in the NFL that can come in and do any worse of a play than that. Right? You would think. ...2018, that just kind of just set the, like, wow, dude, we're absolutely... this is just a narrative. You know, I couldn't believe it. It was like, wow, that just happened. We just literally got flaked out of a call that they would call 99.99999% of the time. And you're going to tell me this guy didn't see it? You're going to tell me this referee didn't see what just happened? That it wasn't obvious? Like, what are you looking at, dude? Did you get hit with a state of euphoria, or are you ADD, ADHD or something? Like, did you just blank out in the middle of the play or something? Like, did you just lose your attention span in the middle of the play, dude? Dude, you can't sit here and tell me there was no subjectivity within that play. That was completely abstract.